Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Monday evening to you all. Hope you guys are feeling well out there. Have had yourselves a great start to your work week. Great Monday. And sorry, guys, I'm coming at you a little bit later than I normally do in the evening videos. Just had a lot going on today and this evening. But glad to be with you guys. We're going to try to give you some updated information on what's going to happen overnight tonight, but more so tomorrow. I'm expecting a pretty active day in the weather world. Severe weather being a big topic for Alabama and Mississippi especially, and there's going to be a tornado threat. We're going to see if this upgrades to an enhanced risk, but for now, I'm saying it's going to stick with a slight, but who knows? It'll upgrade again sometime tonight, the wee hours of the morning. So obviously, stay tuned for tomorrow morning's video, especially if you're in Mississippi, Alabama, as we'll get some updated information. But we're going to break this down, what we know. If you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. And if you guys got anything that I can pray about, pray over, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it, and it gives others an opportunity to do so too. Also, stick around towards the ending of the video. We're going to break down, and talk a little bit about rain. It seems like it has not rained in forever in areas of the country, especially the southeast. And it seems like when it does rain, we get it all at one time. So I don't even remember the last time it rained here in my neck of the woods of South Carolina. I would have to look at my weather station to see, and that's sad because I'm a weather guy and I should know when the last time it rained, but I really don't. I really don't. It's been very dry, and it's getting dry very quick, and just with low humidity in the southeast and areas, it continues to be very dry. Definitely had to break out the CarMax earlier this week for sure. But severe weather. This is what's going on right now between right now and tomorrow morning. There's still going to be an ongoing slight risk of thunderstorms, and then there's a tornado risk that will be ongoing throughout the next several hours. So the severe weather threat isn't done from between now into the overnight hours into tomorrow. And in fact, you look at radar scope, might have some things circled here from when I was looking at it earlier. This is that line of storms that's erupting right here. Here's Dallas, here's Waco, College Station, Austin. This line of storms right here is really getting its act together. And this will continue to obviously move east in general. And we need to watch this area, even especially down here, because better thermodynamics are at bay right here. Remember those high dew points, better Cape values are the highest to the south. Just not as much forcing. You don't basically have enough oomph to the atmosphere for more storm development. But for anything that does develop down here in this region, certainly needs to be watched. And then this will eventually move into this area a little bit later tonight, and we'll still have the risk for severe storms. So, but tomorrow there is a slight risk for thunderstorms, a slight risk for severe storms. Includes Jackson, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, Jackson, Tennessee, and Birmingham, Alabama. The tornado threat will be the highest in the southern flank of this slight risk. The reason that is because, sure, you have a ton of kinematics, all that wind energy you need for a tornado threat to put the spin in the atmosphere. Ton of it tomorrow. But you're lacking what we call thermodynamics, which is the Cape, basically the available energy in the atmosphere for these storms to take advantage of. Think of it as storm fuel. And really, the higher you can get the dew points, and the more you get the sun to come out, and the more that the Cape values will spike in these areas. And it will be the highest on the southern flank right here, basically where your best thermodynamics and your kinematics are overlapping. That will be somewhere in this region right here between Birmingham and Jackson, Mississippi. The wind threat will be there with any of the storms tomorrow. Damaging wind threat, 15% risk of winds pushing 50 knots or higher. That's around 55 to 60 miles per hour. Hail threat, not much of a hail threat tomorrow. The dynamics just aren't there for big time hail. So let's back this up a little bit. I was looking at it a little bit earlier. We'll start this off around 1 a.m. tonight, Central Time. These storms will be moving out of eastern areas of Texas. It'll be moving into Louisiana and Arkansas, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. In the morning. And will they still have that maintained punch to them? The HRRR model says they weaken pretty quickly as you get after midnight. And then just some cracks of thunder overnight for Little Rock, Shreveport. And then you're waking up to some rain on the border of Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana. And then this is moving into areas like Memphis a few hours before lunchtime. Low pressure, that surface low that's basically ripping up these higher dew points in this area, this higher moisture content, and creating a big-time wind field for these storms. So it looks like a broken line of storms moving through Mississippi around mid to late morning, and then also Tennessee, even areas of eastern Kentucky. And then all these storms in Tennessee, eastern Kentucky, I'm sorry, I keep saying eastern, western Kentucky, western Tennessee, and then eastern areas of Mississippi around early afternoon could be producing damaging winds. And then we need to watch out. This is the flank down here for severe weather, the potential to produce tornadoes down here. Certainly going to be there, but the damaging wind threat will be all along this line, all the way even up to potentially southern areas of Illinois. So really, that's the HRRR model and what it's showing, and these storms will be ongoing. We're getting into dinner time tomorrow, around this time tomorrow, and the HRRR model wants these storms to continue to maintain strength and might make it all the way to Atlanta just before midnight before really breaking apart big time as the surface low moves to the north, forcing drops off here. But we still need to watch these little storms down here into the overnight hours tomorrow for the Panhandle of Florida and even southeast Alabama. But let's talk about the NAM. The NAM, kind of same situation, has these storms moving out. We're getting into waking up tomorrow morning. These storms are past Shreveport, just entering the Little Rock area as we're waking up tomorrow morning. This will continue, and then these storms move into Mississippi about late morning. The atmosphere begins to probably destabilize right in this area of southern Alabama and Mississippi. Meanwhile, you still got nasty storms, a broken line of storms moving through western Tennessee, even western areas of Kentucky. This continues to move through the area. And even though you don't see a ton of storms down here in Alabama, Mississippi around, at the afternoon, evening hours, any of these storms, due to these dew points probably into the upper 60s and low 70s down here deeper into Alabama, Mississippi, there'll definitely be a better overlapping of dynamics right here. So I really think the highest tornado threat, just like the professionals think, out the Storm Prediction Center, will be down here. The storm structure will be lacking probably, but any of these storms down here will produce a quick tornado, could potentially produce a quick tornado or two. And this is kind of a one and done thing, meaning a cluster of storms will move through this area, and after they move through, it's pretty much a wrap. But we look at the dew points here in this area, and here we go. We're moving into tomorrow morning, moving to about midday, and then we'll stop it right here. This is around early to mid-afternoon tomorrow. Look at these dew points. Getting into the 70s as far north as, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and then pretty far north into Mississippi. So this is the area we watch. We call this a moist or warm sector. And this is where the tornado threat will be the highest. You will still have a damaging wind threat even up here, but it's a brief spike in dew points before the cold front crashes in and then crashes the dew points back down to the 40s. But there's going to be a brief period right here. And with this spike in humidity, these dew points, you're going to have a spike in CAPE. Now, the NAM might be overdone, but a NAM normally is a great thing to look at here. And I'll stop it right here. This isn't a ton of CAPE in this moist sector, but you got values now reaching over 1,000 joules per kilogram mixed in with the kinematics. And, I click a sounding right into here. And, it wants to throw out a PDS tornado. So you got dew points to the surface around 72 in this area. Air temperature around 74. So, that's kind of lacking. But listen, please don't let your guard down if you live in this area of Alabama and these areas of Mississippi. Even up here, damaging wind threat. But the photographs, the soundings, certainly support the chance for a tornado in these areas, guys. I mean, there's a little bit of a looping, but they certainly support some tornadic development. It's certainly possible tomorrow. You guys know all about it in this region of the country. So please be aware. Another better look, a closer look at this in Alabama and Mississippi tomorrow. So here you go. These are the storms that move through. That's another thing that could limit the afternoon convection. How much of these showers and heavier showers kind of tamper down convection later on during the day in Alabama and Mississippi? It's a chance. I think it'll prevent the temperature from spiking all the way into the 80s tomorrow, so there should be some cloud cover. And then here comes these storms tomorrow. This is the NAM. I know you're thinking, well, this doesn't look that bad. But listen, these little storms, they could have more of a structure to them than what the NAM is showing. And you just need to watch, especially if they get isolated where they can take better advantage of the environment that will be here tomorrow in Alabama and Mississippi. Just you guys know about it in this region of the country, so please just be careful. So we'll give you an updated information on that tomorrow morning, obviously. But talking about rain, guys, when is it going to rain again? I made a joke on Twitter. I said, Does anybody remember what rain looks like or feels like? Because it's been forever. So we look at the rest of this system. It falls apart for the Carolinas and the Southeast. I don't even know if we'll get any rain out of this here in the Carolinas. And then here we go. Here comes another system. You're thinking, oh man, this is going to bring rain. Well, this is going to come right around Halloween. Does it bring any rain to us? Low confidence. Low confidence. It's a little under a week out. And then after that, it gets into no man's territory and we don't know what's going to happen. So I can tell you between now and the next 5 to 6 days, there's low chances of rain if you live in the Carolinas, the immediate southeast. The further west you work into the deep south, higher chance of rain certainly there. The tropics. National Weather Service here, National Hurricane Center, still got a 30% chance to develop. We'll see if this uptrends. It could. It certainly could. But either way, I don't think either one of these are going to bother the U.S. This is actually an invest. I think 94L, I believe. It has a 70% chance to develop in the next, 48 hours. So one of these could very sneaky light become Lisa, which is our next named storm. But a lot of people are talking about this. I saw a weather YouTuber post this crazy thumbnail. I just didn't agree with it, but it said something about major hurricane in the Caribbean possible. But I'm not gonna go spill into all that. It kind of irritated me seeing it. I'm not gonna lie, but I will show you this. This is the GFS, and what the chatter is about this in the tropics is the GFS keeps painting this picture of this tropical system developing in the Eastern Caribbean this weekend, and then quickly organizing very quickly into an all-out hurricane, and then potentially a major hurricane in the middle of the Caribbean. And now it wants to, slam eastern areas of Cuba, wreck the Bahamas, get off the coast of the Southeast. But guys, let me tell you, this is the only model showing this. Yes, the Canadian model shows a little bit of some vortices out there, but the Canadian model actually downtrended. It actually downtrended from the run overnight, so it actually went further away from the GFS. The Euro still doesn't really show anything. So the GFS is on its own, and it kind of reminds me, I don't know if you guys remember about 2 months ago, when the GFS kept wanting to pop off a vortice off the northern end of South America, and then getting into the Caribbean, turning into a major hurricane, and then going right into Texas. I don't know if you guys remember that. It showed it for like 7 days in a row, and then none of the other models were buying it, and all of a sudden within 2 runs, it disappeared. I have a feeling this is what it's going to do. Now, am I doubting a weak tropical system in the Caribbean? No. I think it's possible. I mean, we've seen crazier things happen. Hint 2020. But I'm watching this, but guys, I'm not taking it serious right now. I'm just not. But we'll give you an update in the morning of what's going to happen in the Deep South tomorrow. Watch for an increase. Let's hope it doesn't increase to an enhanced risk, which is a level 3 out of 5. But I'll be with you guys to have you guys updated information if it does. God bless all y'all. Have a great night. I'll talk to you in the morning.